Just cut them right, and you're gonna win on Cut Charts. And here's the host of Cut Charts, Jim Perry.
How are you? Nice to welcome you to the Cut Charts. You're very kind. Thank you. What a discerning group we have here today, Gene. Thank you. Thank you for joining us at home. And a special vote of thanks for sending in an opening poem, Rachel Christensen of Franksville, Wisconsin, who watches us on WMAQ TV Channel 5. Thank you, Rachel. Now let's get to the cards. Janice and Lois, if you will, start loading in the cards. We have a game in progress with these card sharks. Ellie Trent, our champion. Hi, Ellie. Good, I'm fine. Won't you again tell us a little about yourself?
Well, my name's Ellie Trent. I'm from Culver City, California. I'm going to go into my third and last year of law school in September, and I speak Dutch fluently with an American accent.
How did you come to speak Dutch with an American accent?
My family's from Holland, and so I grew up listening to it all my life.
Do you get much of a chance to use a language like Dutch?
When you're in Holland, you do.
Of course, yes.
Not out here too much, no.
Ellie has won $625 in cash to help along with the studies. Our challenger, Eileen Shadell. Hi, Eileen.
Nice to see you again.
And won't you again remind us about yourself?
Sure. My name is Eileen Shadell, and I was born in Buffalo, New York, came to California during World War II with the United States Marine Corps, live now with my husband and young daughter in Corona, California. I collect antique tools, and due to a misspent youth, I play tournament pool.
Tournament pool? Not just pool, you play in
tournaments. Absolutely.
Have you won any?
Quite a few.
I'm going to stay away from you, Eileen, in a pool game. That's an interesting hobby for a lady. Now, you both cut the cards before we went on the air. Yes. So we'll pick up where we left off. We play the best two games out of three. We're in the middle of game number one. And looking at the board, Ellie has uncovered a 7 as her base card. She, of course, needs 4 cards. Eileen also needs 4. She has a better base card. She's uncovered a 3. We're picking up with question 2, and it goes to you, Eileen, as we left off. Eileen, we found 100 wives of house husbands. These are all women whose husbands stay home and take care of the house and kids while they work. And we asked them, do you respect your husband less now that he does not have a paying job? How many wives of house husbands said they respect their husband less now that he doesn't have a paying job?
Oh, I think that's a low number, because I think men are house husbands by choice, and because the woman has a more lucrative career. So I think that number is probably about 27.
Eileen says 27 out of 100 respect their husband less because he's a house husband.
I'm pretty old-fashioned, and I know it's bad these days with women's lib and all, but I'm a little old-fashioned. I might respect my husband less, so I'm going to say that's a little higher.
You say higher?
Yes.
If it is higher, Ellie, you'll play your cards. If not, Eileen plays her deck of cards. The actual number of wives who respect their husband less than when he had a job is 11. It is not higher. It is much lower.
I want to go
And it's
higher,
rather nice to hear, as a matter of fact. Certainly someone's job should have nothing to do with the respect for them as a person. Eileen, we left off with a 3 as your base card.
I want to go higher, please.
She says higher than a 3. She's right with a 5.
I'll go higher again.
Risking it. Higher than a 5. Yes, a 7.
I'll freeze on 7.
We move over the freeze bar, protecting that position. Can't take those cards away, and Eileen needs 2 for the first game of the match. Ellie, with some catching up to do, we asked 100 marriage counselors. Generally speaking, do people who marry later in life have a better chance of staying together than those who marry young? How many marriage counselors said yes, people who marry later do have a better chance of success?
I have a friend who is a marriage counselor, and he himself is waiting to get married. I think that's going to be a high number. I'd say about 45.
40?
Say that, yes.
45 out of 100 marriage counselors said you have a better chance if you wait.
I think that it's higher than that, because if you wait longer, you can have a little bit more sense. You back off an argument. I think the number is higher.
Even higher than that.
Right.
Interesting comment. You back off of an argument. Are you figuring that the arguments are the biggest problem?
I think so.
You back off, you stay together.
Right.
Well, little marital advice from Eileen there, friends. You say higher. The actual number of marriage counselors who believe people who marry later have a better chance of staying married is 87. Very much higher. Yes. Eileen, we left off with a 7.
I'd like to change that card, please.
You won the question. You have the right to change it. A king.
Oh, good. Good card. I'll go lower.
Lower than a king. A 2.
Oh, higher.
For the first game of the match, higher than a 2. No. Another 2 backfires for Eileen, and that gives Ellie a free chance to play off the 7.
7. Let's go higher, please.
Higher than the 7. She's right with the queen.
Lower, please.
Lower than a queen. A 2.
Higher, please.
Higher than a 2. A jack.
3.
And Ellie does not want to try that last card. She could lose them all.
Oh.
The audience doesn't agree with... The audience doesn't agree with your strategy, Ellie, but nonetheless, it is sudden death coming up, and you could have a long way to go. Let's see how your strategy pays off. Sudden death means, of course, that someone must win with this play of the cards. Eileen, we asked 100 7th graders to complete this phrase. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but what? How many 7th graders knew the phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me?
Oh, that's a high number. I have had 5 kids in 7th grade at one time or another. I think that number is probably 89.
89 out of 100 knew the phrase.
That phrase is very common. In fact, I knew that when I was about 2, and I know 89 is a sticky number, but I'm going to say it's still a little higher.
Even higher than that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting that a lot of the audience did not agree with your reasoning. I guess some of them think...
7th graders are...
Well, some of them may think that it's outdated. Let's find out. The actual number of 7th graders who knew that sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me, is 55. It is not higher. Eileen gets control of the board. Now, Eileen is sudden death. You have a king, a good card, but you need 2 cards. Ellie has a jack. She did not win the question. If you made her play it, she couldn't change it, but it's a pretty good card. She needs only 1. You've got an interesting decision. Play it or pass.
I'm going to play it.
You're going to try to do it yourself?
I'll play it.
Going to do it with a king?
Yeah, I'm going to play it and play that card lower.
All right, lower. If you make one mistake, you lose, but get them both. You've got the game. She says lower. It is lower with a 4.
Okay, higher.
Higher for the win. Yes! Eileen turns 2 over and wins game number 1 and $100. We'll be back with game 2 right after we take time out for this. Oh, there you are. 1 to the challenger. Janice is dealing out the same 2 decks of cards. And these are the next cards off the top of the deck as we start game 2, a game that Ellie needs, with a question to Ellie. Ellie, we asked 100 senior citizen men. Have you ever romanced a girl young enough to be your daughter? How many senior citizen men admitted they had romanced a girl young enough to be their daughter?
In this day and age, I think they've had a lot of experience with younger women. Just, it's good for them. I would say that number is going to be...
It's never hurt anybody.
No. I think that number is about 54.
Ellie says 54 out of 100 senior citizen men have dated a girl young enough to be their daughter.
I think when you're a senior citizen, you want somebody that has a lot in common with you. And I think that number's going to be lower.
So you say lower. The actual number of senior citizen men who've romanced a girl young enough to be their daughter is 23. It is lower. Eileen. Yes. And the challenger starts game 2 with an 8.
Oh, I'll keep that and go lower.
Lower than an 8. A 9.
Oh, I'll freeze.
Freezing on that middle card. Eileen, this question to you. Eileen, we polled 100 women who support the women's liberation movement. They all belong to the National Organization for Women. And we asked them, interesting question, which would you rather be, President of the United States or the First Lady? How many feminists said they would rather be the president?
Oh, I think that number would be pretty high. I think that they figure the First Lady is second best and they want to be best. I think that would probably be about 77.
Eileen says 77 out of 100 feminists want to be president rather than First Lady.
I'm not a feminist, but, myself, I'd rather be president myself, too. So I'm going to say that that's a good number, but I still think it's going to be just a little bit lower than that. Yeah, I know.
You say lower.
Yeah, but 77 is a little too high. It's just a little bit lower than
Lower than that. I was just thinking I would want...
maybe 76.
Oh, well, you could have from 76 on down, Ellie. I was thinking as you were saying that, I don't want to be president. It's a terrible job, but of course I don't want to be First Lady either. The actual number of feminists who would rather be president is 84, not lower, even more. Eileen gets it with a 9.
Please change the 9.
Changing the 9 to an 8.
Oh, good. Lower.
Lower than an 8. A jack.
Oh, lower.
Risking it lower. It is a 5.
Oh. I'll freeze.
You'll freeze, did you say?
Freeze.
Freeze. I couldn't quite hear you. You were getting a lot of advice out there.
I know.
Question 3, as we move over that freeze bar, and Ellie, you've got a way to go to catch up. Ellie, we asked 100 third-grade children. Do you think the stork brings babies? How many third graders think the stork does bring babies?
Well, I think by the time they're in the 3rd grade, I think maybe some of their mothers, they might have seen their mothers pregnant. and maybe the mother will say, well, the baby's inside of here. So I don't think they're going to think the stork brings it anymore. So I think that number is going to be about 25.
25 out of 100 third graders said the stork brings babies.
I think it's going to be a little bit higher. All mothers are not that liberal. It's going to be a little bit higher.
A little bit higher. The actual number of third graders who think the stork brings babies is 11. It is not higher. Ellie starts off with a 9.
Change that card, please.
Getting rid of the 9.
Something an ace.
Oh, another 9.
I can't change that
Oh,
one.
you can only change it once.
Okay, let's go lower.
Going with the odds lower. Oh, yes, an 8.
Let's go lower.
He's going to take a risk. Is she right lower? No. The risk did not pay off, and it gives Eileen a free chance to play off the 5 and call this for the match.
I will say higher. Higher,
If this is
Jim.
higher, Eileen goes for the big money. She does. Eileen is the new champion on Card Sharks. Ellie, you kept getting your back to the wall there with that 8 and sudden death again.
That's okay.
But you've won $625. Good luck with your
Thank you
studies.
very much. Bye-bye.
I thank you. Ellie Grant. Eileen, come on down here. Oh, I forgot. Yes, we've got to get things turned around and get to the money cards for you.
Yeah.
You do want to get to the money cards.
Oh, yes. I've been waiting for this.
All right. We'll go for the big money with the money cards right after this with our new champion. Yes, we got to change this. Champion Eileen Shadell. What did you mean it's easier at home, Eileen?
Oh, I always get them right at home.
Oh, yeah? Did you cut the money card?
Yes, I did.
All right, let's do it right now. Let's get up to those money cards. Come on, Eileen. Let's see if we can make a bundle. And we're going to give you some new money as we start dealing out. Janice and Lois, whose bandanas have slipped badly from their neck, we'll give you 3 cards on the bottom line. Move up to the second level, another $200 and 3 more cards. Minimum bet's $50 till you get to the top card. The big bet, there you must risk at least half the money. Good luck, Eileen.
Thank you, Jim.
And here's $200. We'll start you off with a choice of base cards, which, of course, you can change on each of the 3 levels if you need to. Thank you, Lois. $200. And a 3.
Oh, I'll keep that 3. I'll keep that 3. I want to go $200 higher.
All of it. $200 that this card is higher than that 3. She's right.
Oh, good, good. I will say $100 lower.
$100 lower than a 9. Yes, right again for
good,
$500.
Good. $200 higher.
$200 higher than a 5. Yeah.
Oh, good, good.
$700. We move up the jack. Give you the other $200 in betting money. You have $900. Do you want the jack on this level?
I'd like to change it.
She wants to get rid of the jack. The audience.
I'd like to change it.
She doesn't want to play a jack. Can she improve it? Yes, with a queen.
Okay. I will bet $300 lower.
300.
Lower, right.
$300. She doesn't like the queen much, but is she right for 300? Yes, with an 8.
Okay.
$1,200.
I will bet $200 higher.
$200. Pretty sizable bet on that middle card, the 8. Yes, with a quick
Okay,
king.
I like that king. I like that king. Oh, I want to bet all of it lower.
Oh, a big bet. Come on, all or nothing. For $2,800 or nothing, lower than a king. Yeah! And again, a great card. We move up to 3. You've got $2,800.
I'll keep it. All of it higher. All of it.
Nothing. Or $5,600. Higher than a 3. It is for $5,600.
Oh,
Now you said it's easier at home.
better here.
It's better here. Come on down here. Oh, you did that beautifully. Good betting, gutsy betting. 200 in the game, and Eileen Shadell is $5,800 for 1 game of Card Sharks. Congratulations.
Better in Vegas.
That's better in Vegas. We'll meet a new challenger. Set a brand new match right after this. Way to go. That's great. I'm happy to say. Brand new decks of cards. Time to meet a new challenger on Card Sharks. Pat Sibley. Hello, Pat. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Hi.
Say hello to Eileen. I'm sure you've met before, right? Back in our little green room. But Pat, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? Get comfortable. Let's find out about you.
Okay, well, my name is Pat Sibley, and I'm from Van Nuys, California. I have a college degree in child development. I used to teach preschool. And right now I'm working as a waitress trying to save up enough money to go back to drama school in September.
You know, in many... Now, that's... I wish you well with that, but that's kind of sad that you have to take a job as a waitress because you can't make as much as a teacher.
Right, that's the truth.
Well, the times do change. Well, good luck. Hope you get enough to go back to drama school, Pat. And nice to have you here. And you cut your cards before we went on the air.
Yes, I did.
All right, here we go. Starting the best 2 out of 3 with a question to our new champion, Eileen. Eileen, we asked 100 first-grade kids. If you were a parent, would you let your kids stay up as late as they wanted to?
Oh.
How many first graders said they would let their kids stay up as late as they wanted?
I'm sure that's a relatively high number. I would say 69 said they would.
69 out of 100 said they'd let their kids stay up as late as they wanted, Pat. What do you think?
Well, I think that first-grade children think that they should be able to stay up as late as they want to because they don't know anything about being tired, so I'm going to say it's even higher.
Even higher than that?
Higher, right.
A lot of agreement from the audience. Have you made your decision at home? Then here we go. The actual number of first graders who would let their kids stay up as late as they wanted is 25, not higher. And the kids had a better sense of reality than our players. Eileen starts off the match with a 7.
Oh, I'd like to change that, please.
Getting rid of the 7. Again, she makes a good
keep
change.
that one and go lower.
Lower than the 8. The 10.
No. I'll go lower.
She's going to risk it lower. No. A 10 is not lower. It's the same. And, Pat, that means you play a 3.
Oh, good card, good card. Okay, higher.
Higher than a 3. A 2. Ooh. A good card failed her. Janice fills in the spaces. And, Pat, here's your first question. Pat, we found 100 divorced women who are receiving alimony from their ex-husband. And we asked them, are you taking alimony even though you're perfectly capable of supporting yourself? How many divorced women admitted they're taking alimony even though they can support themselves?
Well, personally, I believe that any woman that would take alimony from a man isn't really all that cool of a person anyway. So I think the number's
you're going to
relatively
meet
high.
some guys now, Pat.
Right. I think that'd be relatively high. I'm going to say 78.
78 out of 100 divorced women admitted they're taking alimony even though they can support themselves.
No, because divorce is so bitter, I think women use alimony sometimes as a way of getting back. And I think the number's even higher.
Even higher than that?
Right.
Well, you both were looking on the dark side of a woman's nature there for a moment. The actual number of divorced women who are taking alimony even though they can support themselves is 12. It is not higher. It is much lower. And I think a lot more shares your view than you thought, Pat. And, Pat, you have a 3.
I think I'm going to keep that card because even though I lost, it's still good. So I'm going to go higher.
This time she says higher. This time it is.
Oh, freeze. I'm going to freeze.
And Pat takes a 1-card advantage. Doesn't want to give Eileen a crack at her cards. Question 3 to you, Eileen. Now, Eileen, to conserve fuel, some people have suggested a new law that would require your car to be off the road one day each week. So we asked 100 Californians, would you approve of such a law? How many Californians would approve of a law requiring cars to be off the road one day each week?
I'll tell you, I don't think Californians are as selfish as the country has been led to believe about their cars. I think most people wouldn't mind parking their car one day a week. I think that number's about 57.
57 out of 100 would drop their car for one day of the week.
Well, I know that I would love to park my car, and I would love to think that everybody else would, too, but I think Californians are more selfish than that. I think we're too hooked on our cars, so I'm going to say... No, what was it?
He said 57 would approve of a law. And
I'm going to say that it's lower than that.
Lower than that. You almost had second thoughts there for a moment, Pat. The actual number of Californians who would approve of a law requiring cars to be off the road one day each week is 49. You're right, Pat. It is lower. Almost half.
Okay.
Pat with a 9.
Change that card.
Now she can change the 9 to a 6.
Oh, not much better. But I'm going to go higher.
Higher than a 6?
Oh,
yes,
good.
another 9.
Freeze.
Again, the 1-card advantage. We move over the freeze bar, and we're at sudden death again. Someone has to win it right now. And Pat needs 2 cards. Eileen needs 4. Control, very important. Pat, we asked 100 single women. Have you ever looked at a beautiful model in a fashion magazine and thought, I wish I looked like her? How many single women have thought that?
Oh, my goodness. Yes, I think that a lot of women think that. We shouldn't, though. Isn't it horrible to want to be what we aren't? But I think that we do think that all the time. So I'm going to say... number will be relatively high. I'm going to say, I'll go with my 78 again.
78 out of 100 say, oh, I wish I looked like that beautiful woman.
I think any woman would like to be as beautiful as a model. I think that's higher.
Higher than that. The actual number of single women who wish they looked like a model is 88. It is higher. Eileen gets control. And Eileen, you are faced with a quandary. Sudden death, you have a big card, an ace, but you need 4 cards. Pat up the middle with a 9, but she needs only 2. You've got control. What are you going to do?
She cannot change hers, right?
She cannot change it.
Okay,
She did not win the question.
I passed to Pat.
All right, Pat, with that 9, you've got to turn them both over to win. One mistake, it belongs to Eileen. What do you say with this card?
I guess I'll go with the odds. I'll go lower.
Lower than a 9. Yes, a 7.
I guess the only thing I can do is go backwards this time. Higher.
Higher than a 7. Someone's going to win it right now. It's Pat. She got higher, and she wins it. Game 1 to the champion. And Eileen, you had a tough problem there, Eileen, with 4 cards to go.
I did.
Well, Eileen's going to try to make a comeback. We're going to take time out now for a message of importance.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks. A Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
Here you go. Starting the best 2 at